My bad, guys. I'm texting somebody important right now. Yo, what's good?
What's up? Alright, I gotta send one more message. Alright, so I'm done with that. I'm coming. Give me a second. Yo, MB. What up, little mama? Yo, Fox. What's up, guys? So, I did a thing today. Did that interview this morning. That shit went excellent. And the guy who interviewed me said he recently moved from New York back to the area. Happened to get a job at our local news station. Now he's a co-anchor for the morning news, and they're starting a new segment where they focus on local artists. And he wanted me to be the first person they interview as their inaugural episode for this series they're doing. Which makes me feel so special that they chose me first. Because I don't live in an artsy town. Like, there's not like museums and galleries everywhere. Kind of like I lived in some artsy towns. Fredericksburg, Virginia, that shit is artsy as fuck. There's like 10 galleries and like 10 antique shops, 2 museums. Like, their shit is just art. That's their whole community is like art. Chapel Hill, North Carolina is a really really artsy little town. Philadelphia, it's a big city, but Philly has tons of museums, tons of galleries. Like where I'm at now, we don't have a lot of that, you know. But there are a lot of artists in the area. So for me to be singled out as the first person for the news, for our local news to select as for their first interview, I thought that was pretty good. You don't know nothing about this. Sit back and keep your bra on. You don't know about that cider. Somebody drink that cider. Hard. Mmm. Ooh. Hard. Hard cider. That whiskey. Man, my homeboy had some whiskey. This shit called Monkey Shoulder. But that shit been so good and so smooth. It had this earthy honey flavor to it. That shit was nice. That shit was nice, yo. And I don't like whiskeys. I don't like whiskeys and brandies and all that shit, man. But that monkey shoulder, oh my god, that shit was so good. I'm gonna have to get me a bottle of that shit. Been on the cider since '98. Fool, what you talking about? I've been drinking. I drank Angry Orchard. Well, I drank Corona and Heineken for years because they're so popular. And then I switched over to Ice House because it was cheaper. I drank that for a long time. Then I drank this for a couple years. And then I switched over to this one beer called Hoegaarden. It's a Belgium wheat. Hoegaarden, if you see that shit, you get your hands on some Hoegaarden, try that shit, yo. It's good. It's real good, yo. I drank Hoegaarden for about 2 years. That was the only beer I brought for about 2 years. And then last year or the year before last, I got back on this. And now when I want, and this isn't a beer, it's a cider. So if I want to drink something cold and crisp and a lot of it, not like a shot of liquor, but just have a nice tall drink like that, I'd rather get a Angry Orchard. And I like this one. I've tried all of them, but I like this one and that green apple. Them shits are the best, yo. That rosé, I don't really like that rosé like that. Oh, that Fat Tire, that shit is good. Blue Moon, now if you like Blue Moon, you'll like that Hoegaarden. It's not a garden where you grow hoes, and it's not only a garden where hoes can work, but it is a Hoegaarden. And Hoegaarden, it will remind you of Blue Moon. That Blue Moon has a little bit too much alcohol in it. That Blue Moon and that Shock Top, man, that shit get me drunk. I don't like feeling like that. That shit, it's a little bit too strong for me. But that Hoegaarden, that shit light, it's crisp. It's hard to describe. It's like Budweiser says, the champagne of beers. It's real light and bubbly, almost like a champagne. Why drink regular penis wine when you could be drinking magical penis wine? Anyway. My man had this right here. That shit called Monkey Shoulder. It's a whiskey. Monkey Shoulder. Never heard of that shit. But that shit is good, yo. They got 3 monkeys standing on each other's back like you got a monkey on your back. Monkey Shoulder. I tell you what, if I see this shit somewhere, I'll grab that shit. I'll drink that right there. And like I said, I don't like whiskey. I'm not a whiskey drinker, yo. I like rum. I like rum, tequila, and maybe a really good gin. I'll drink some gin from time to time. Here, I put my lighter. That motherfucker Monkey Shoulder. I might have to take a piss. And that's why I don't drink ciders and beers and shit, yo. They make me pee so much. Take a couple shots of liquor, I'll feel the same way and won't have to go to the bathroom as much. When I come back, I'll show y'all this thing I did. That Jack Daniels, ooh, or Captain Morgan. That's what I got, yo. I like Jack Daniels, but Captain Morgan, that's like my go-to rum drink, yo. I only got a few go-to drinks, yo. I'll drink like that Jose Cuervo, or some Patron, Jack Daniels, or Captain Morgan's. I'll drink something like some Cavassier, or Gentleman Jack. That Cavassier, that's a cognac. I'll drink some cognacs, like some Hennessy, or some Cavassier or something like that. Pastor Cavassier. What did he tell her now? Pastor Cavassier. Yo, that shit was that shit, yo. Or some Remy Martin. But like my go-to is the shit I got on my shelf right now. Some Jose Cuervo or some some Captain Morgan's. I grab them bitches up just without even thinking. Now if I want something different to drink, like I said, I have to sit in the store and think for a minute, like what do I want other than Captain Morgan's? Then I'll find something similar to Captain Morgan's. I know one time I was on that Goldschlager. I drank that shit for a couple months, yo. But then that shit get too sweet after a while. Goldschlager with the gold flakes. You see the news anchor checking out my art. Ooh, got the art.
You live now in Scranton?
I live in Wilkes-Barre now.
Do you really? I live in Wilkes-Barre.
I see your phone number when you called.
Oh, did it come up Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah.
We're a part of Wilkes-Barre.
Couldn't say that on the camera, what part of Wilkes-Barre. But anyway, couldn't find out. Me and this dude right here, yo, we live on the same fucking street. That shit crazy. We live on the same fucking street. But this is where I work at. This is the office I work in. One of our classrooms. This is normally one of the rooms I occupy.
I live in Wilkes-Barre now.
I took a couple pieces in. Y'all can see I took that piece with me this morning.
Did it come up Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah.
Sitting right
We're
there.
a part of Wilkes-Barre.
So I always try to get exposure on that piece because that's a really pivotal piece. Here's another one of our classrooms at our office building. And the other mural I did. So getting just behind the scenes pictures of him taking pictures of my shit. And he works for PA Live is the name of the news show. And so he's getting footage of the other mural. And then we took a little picture together in front of this mural I'm currently working on of a safari scene. That shit gonna be hot. I think I took an end of the day pic. Every time I work on it, I'll just snap a photo of the progress I've made on it. So working on that elephant. There's going to be a bunch of animals down here. If you can look close, right there is like the outline of a giraffe. A giraffe. So that's going to probably be the next animal I work on is the giraffe. And then down here is like a water buffalo and some gazelles and some flamingos. All down that shit. So did that news interview this morning, and if you guys keep up with the stream, a couple of nights ago I did what it was, Friday evening. That was Friday evening. I did a Zoom interview with my art for Arts Engaged, Lackawanna Arts Engaged Council, and so. Yeah, so there's the preview for that. 30-minute presentations. 7 a.m. to 7:30. Travis Prince, visual artist, painting demonstration. and poetry reading by Laurel Radisky. And Jacob Cole is a percussionist, hand pan performance. And so this will all air Wednesday, June 17th, 2020. That's tomorrow evening from 7 till 9 o'clock. So I'll be in that lineup, and as you see, they put me first because Black Lives Matter. So that'll be tomorrow, and then either maybe Thursday or Friday, the interview that we did this morning will air. So hey, I'll be on the TV all the time. That's what I tell y'all, man. The people like y'all who fuck with me heavy right now, who knew me from my PlayStation days, just a little bit longer, yo. A few more years, maybe 5, 10 more years. I'm gonna be up there. I'm gonna forget all y'all motherfuckers. I ain't lying. Said that. Forget all y'all. I ain't even coming back to YouTube. Damn, Trap don't even stream no more. Fuck that. I'm in Paris, France, Italy, Germany, Rome. I'll never forget y'all. Hey, bruh. Without y'all, I ain't shit. I ain't nobody, yo. I swear. It's almost like I'm a musician. You know what I'm saying? Without the fans, the artist ain't shit. The artist ain't nobody without people appreciating the art. But then the artist has the responsibility of producing something that people will appreciate. You know what I'm saying? I work for y'all. Y'all work for me. This is a symbiosis. We in this shit together. I couldn't do this shit without you guys, and that's why I continue to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like people need, want, and like this shit, yo. And that's a fact. You will never forget me. We know that. We'll never forget. Ooh. Every time I gotta look at my private pictures. Girl, you was too fine. Damn, she too fine. Y'all can't see no more of that shit. See? That's why I don't even like to talk about that shit. Damn! Damn! Hot mama! I'm gonna show y'all no more of that shit. My pictures, my pictures, my pictures. Ooh, ooh. So I did a thing today. And like these interviews are coming out of nowhere. I like that. Like I say, all of last year was that year, yo, when I knew like I'm doing whatever I'm doing, just keep doing what you're doing. It's working for you. Cause last year, even 2018, yeah, the past 2 years actually. In 2018, I had like 4 or 5 shows. I didn't ask for any of them. Everybody's like, "You want a show? You want a show? Can you show with us, please? You want a show?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you want one? You want one? I got you too." All last year was the same thing. Hey, Travis, you want to interview? Can we interview? You want to be on this? You want to be a part of this? Can you do this? You want to exhibit here? I'm like, hell yes. Everything. Let me get all that. You want one? You want that? I got you. You too? No problem. And all this year, well, as much as possible. But it's like my commissions keep rolling in. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you paint this? I'm like, I got you. I got you. You want some sneakers? I got them. Don't worry about it. Got everybody covered. And then out the blue, like literally yesterday, out the blue. Where's the message at? Yesterday afternoon. I got this message at 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday. Hi, Travis. My name is Chris, and I am the new co-host of PA Live that airs on WBRE. We are beginning a new community artist series on the show and would love for you to be the inaugural person we feature. I am looking to shoot some stuff with you this week if you're interested. Shoot me a text or message me on here so we can confirm the conversation. Thanks. And then he sent me his number, and I was like, hey Chris, this sounds awesome, and I'm honored that you picked me to kick off your new series. I normally work Monday through Friday, 9 till 3. Anytime after 3, I should be good to meet with you. Just let me know when and where, plus any other details. Hope to speak with you soon. And so that was yesterday at 2:30 in the afternoon, and this morning we already set up a news interview. Like, he's like, let's do this shit now, like right now. I'm like, all right, I ain't got no problem with that. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. You know why? Do you know why? Watch this. Watch this. All right. See you tomorrow afternoon. Great news. Angelique is returning from Gibraltar July 1st. She's been there 7 months taking care of her mom who is very ill. I'll ask her to get Graham Hancock to visit Scranton on his next swing through the USA and get him on your show. Graham Hancock. Okay. JRE, Joe Rogan Experience. Don't even have, all you gotta do is put JRE and put the G, and then Graham Hancock pops up. Yo, Graham Hancock has been on Joe Rogan like several times. Like, he's one of Rogan's favorite guys, yo. So this is Graham Hancock. And I've been following him before he was on Joe Rogan. But if he's buddy, like him and Joe Rogan is buddy, yo. They're buddy. Graham Hancock and Joe Rogan. So let me do an interview. Let me do an interview with Graham Hancock. Then you know I'm gonna say something like, yo, Joe Rogan is the fucking shit, yo. Talk to Rogan. Tell Rogan to get me on this show. I don't know what we gonna talk about because I'm not fucking famous. I'm not doing like extra big shit like a lot of other people we have on this show, like Kevin Hart, and he just did another episode with Bill Burr and all these people. I'm not those guys. I'm basically nobody. But if I get on Joe Rogan to make me somebody. Like, everybody watches Joe Rogan. But I would be fucking and just I can't even think of a fucking word, yo, like enthralled to fucking like meet Graham Hancock. Like, that dude is the shit. And I haven't read any of his books. I know he wrote Fingerprints of the Gods. And then he's recently published another book. I'm gonna just have to get some of his stuff and read his material. Um, him and I think him and Robert Duvall wrote a book together. Him and John Anthony West have worked together. And so he's in that circle and like he's the fucking shit. But I've listened to like dozens of interviews from him outside of like I said, he's been on Joe Rogan a couple of times. I think I've seen all of those episodes, but like just his other interviews and debates and his lectures from other venues and stuff. Like I've listened to a lot of his stuff. Yeah, all I gotta do is tell the story, like how I got to the Joe Rogan show, how I made it here. The Prince is 4 P's, man: passion, persistence, practice, and patience. All that shit gonna work out, yo. It work out in the end. I'm not worried about it. Let me get Graham Hancock on my show just one time. Hmm. Had to answer that back. Somebody did ask me. She wants to buy her father some painting lessons. He's older. He's retired. He's been into art for a while, and he has done some painting already. So he just wants someone to give him some more pointers and tips to help him along a little bit. So I told her I'll definitely help her dad if she's willing to pay my fees for individual lessons. And so she just hit me up again. She was like, hey, did you get a chance to look at your schedule for paint lessons for my dad? I said, damn, I'll definitely be busy up until this weekend for our Juneteenth event. But all right, this weekend I'm busy. Throughout the week, next week I'll see if I can set something up so we can start classes next weekend. And so it really all depends on how my week plays out next week, because I hope nothing comes up. But I don't see anything coming up, and plus these are paid tutorial lessons. So, and I charge $25 an hour. So I definitely need those. Need to get those.
on my dance. Ray Sharp books. And forgive me if I get any of the details wrong, but as far as I know, you've probably seen the video, you've read the story. Ray Sharp was in his car the way he was driving. He was drunk or tipsy or he had alcohol and fell asleep. Fell asleep, people are driving around his car. And so somebody at the Wendy's called the cops. The cops arrived and they get Ray Sharp out of the car. And they start talking to him for about 30 minutes. Asking him, is he drunk? Why is he driving? What's going on? I mean, it seems pretty standard. And the whole time throughout this video, you have human beings being you have Ray Sharp, who's clearly an inebriated, and he's talking to the cops. And you have the cops asking him the question. Now, what's interesting about this video is, like, in the beginning, it seems like everything is fine. The cops are talking like a person. They're not being respectful. They're not being he's being respectful. He's calling them sir. He's not cussing them out. He's offering walk along. Everything is going on. Everything is connected to principles. In just a few seconds, every part of that normal story.
No, I hope Trevor doesn't try to defend this guy, because me and a couple other people already had a conversation about this. The guy who got killed in Atlanta on camera at the Wendy's.
And forgive me if I get any of the details wrong, but as far as I know, you've probably seen the video, you've read the story. Ray Sharp was in his car in a Wendy's drive-thru. He was drunk or tipsy, or he had alcohol and he fell asleep. Fell asleep, people are driving around his car. And so somebody at the Wendy's called the cops. The cops arrive at Wendy's and they get Ray Sharp out of the car. And they start talking to him for about 30 minutes. Asking him, is he drunk? Why is he driving? What's going on? I mean, it seems pretty...
That's the first question. But that's the first thing that I question about our society is like, who the fuck called the cops? Why can't you just check yourself? Okay, you're in a line at a fast food restaurant. The motherfucking car in front of you is not moving. So the first car goes around them. Now the next car pulls up. The car is not moving. Is he stalled out? Did the man have a seizure? Did he have a heart attack? Is he on the phone? Is he discombobulated? What the fuck is going on? Why didn't somebody in that group of people at the restaurant get out themselves? Hey, move the fuck out the way. Buddy, you okay? Hey, buddy. Yo, wake up, nigga. Yo, you alright? You okay? Man, you holding shit up. Move the fuck out the way, man. What's wrong with you, man? And then the night would have been done. But instead of doing that, somebody said, you know what? 911, hello, officers, there's somebody, his car is stopped in the drive-thru, he's not moving. I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to get some burgers and fries and a shake here. And this vehicle, 3 or 4 cars already went around him and he's just sitting there. Why don't you fucking get out and be a good Samaritan? What the fuck you so scared of? I didn't know that. A portrait this size? It all depends. It all depends. Because this is a very, very elaborate image. So even though this isn't a big one, this shit still ain't cheap. Now the big one, the first one I did, I went $8,000 for that shit. So this is considerably less than $8,000 because it's considerably smaller. But this shit still ain't cheap. Now if you want just a picture of somebody smiling with a white t-shirt on and it's mostly their face from the bust up, I can get you that for the low. That's all you gotta do. Send me the picture, because I'm gonna ask for that anyway. Ian Barnes said T. Okay, then I didn't know that part. I did not know that an employee from the restaurant attempted to wake the man several times. I did not know that. Probably you ain't try hard enough. Because the cops was able to do it. The cops woke his ass up. Alright, maybe he was done with his nap by then. But that's the first thing I really question. Like, why ain't somebody else try to wake the man up instead of calling the cops? But I get it. I get it. And he was very cooperative and everything. And then when the whole shit went wrong, my first thought is, this nigga got some drugs on him, or he got a warrant, or he don't have a license, I don't know what the hell is going on. He must have had a license, because they put him all the way through a sobriety test. They're not going to sit there and breathalyze you and make you walk a line if they ain't check your ID and all that shit first. So he must have had a valid license. And then on top of that, if they ran his license, they would have seen if he had warrants already. So I don't get it. I don't see why he resisted like that. You're in the wrong, homie. You're caught red-handed. Eat that shit, nigga. You about to go in tonight. Oh, you about to go in, homie, and that's all you had to do, and you would have been alive. You would have been wasting a few days, a couple of dollars in fines and all this shit, nigga, but you can live to pay that shit off. They said, look, man, you can't pass these tests. You drank too much. We had to wake you up in the car. For everybody else's safety, because if you this drunk where you fell asleep in the drive-thru, you was drunk before you got here. How many people have you almost killed trying to get here? And if we let you go, how many more people would you likely put in danger because you intoxicated? You fell asleep in the drive-thru, nigga. We gotta take you in, man. You can sleep it off in the detox tank tonight. But soon as they told him, like, we can't let you drive like this, and he went crazy. I don't get that part. Like, why did you do that? The last time I went to jail, I tried to buy a gun. I had an old ass warrant on me. I thought this shit, there's I forgot the law term for it, but an expiration date on some shit where, nigga, if you ain't catch me in so many amount of years, man, that shit done with. And I thought there was a statute of limitation for my warrant, but apparently they wasn't. And my warrant was 12 years old. 12 years. Now, I thought that shit been done, yo. I went to go buy a gun, a big one too. And the process is taking hella long for some reason. And you know niggas don't buy guns legally all the time. So at the gun store, I'm the only nigga in there. A lot of white people in here. I'm the only black person. Even employees, nothing. I'm the only black person in the whole store. Process taking a long ass time. Look over my shoulder, I see 2 cops come through the door. And you know what my first thought is? Oh, I'm about to go to jail. I ain't even trying to move. I ain't even moved from the counter or nothing. I seen these niggas. I say, damn, these bitches here for me. Mr. Prince, yes. You put your hands behind your back, no problem. I don't even know what the fuck going on. I don't forgot about the warrant and shit, really. He was holding me, right? Like, you ain't got to hold me, bruh. You ain't got to hold me like that. I ain't going nowhere. I'm good. He put the cuffs on me, and he had me, he holding my arm and my elbow. I said, bruh, trust me, you ain't got to hold me, dog. You let me go. I'm good. I ain't gonna do shit. I went and got in the car. I was like, can you tell me what I'm getting arrested for? And he was like, we don't really know yet. They just told us to come up here and get you. And I'm like, okay, and then figured out, like, oh, you got an old warrant. An old warrant from goddamn 2005 at the time. They was 12 years old, 12 or 13 years old, and even the police was like, "What the fuck? a 12-year-old warrant for what?" And they read what it was for, and it was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like whatever, bro." But that's the thing, yo. There wasn't a situation to defuse. There wasn't a situation to defuse. We caught you sleep. You can't pass the test. We're going to take you to jail. Nothing to defuse. It's not like they walked up on some people arguing, or somebody in the fisticuffs, or two people about to fight, or anything like that. There wasn't nothing to defuse. And he was calm. That's what kills me. Like, bro, he's like telling his story. That's how you know a nigga's scared and he wrong. You talking too much, nigga. You talking too much. Oh, it's my sister's birthday. My niece's birthday was this day. I was doing this. I'm about to. Why are you telling these motherfuckers all that, man? That shit is irrelevant, nigga. You sleep in the drive-thru. Shut the fuck up. Plead the fifth, bitch. You don't even know you don't know the amendments. You do not have to say anything that will incriminate you. So the most thing you should say is, I do not answer questions. 5 words. That's it. Or don't. You can and make it 4. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. Where are you going tonight, sir? I don't answer questions. Well, we have to breathalyze you. You do what you gotta do. And I ain't gonna answer no questions. He telling his whole life story. But he was calm the whole time. No. They couldn't let him run off. And I had to think about this shit for a minute too. And then I have a friend who is a police officer, and we talked about this extensively last night. Swear to God, man, my homie talked about this shit for about an hour last night. And even before we talked about it, I already thought too, like, if you're drunk and you're acting irate, you fucking fought 2 cops just now. You just fought 2 cops and snatched their taser. In that situation where you're actually scuffling with someone, you don't know what the fuck you're grabbing. He could have grabbed the fucking gun. It just so happened and he reached and grabbed and had the taser. Now he ran away from the cops, shot back and shot the taser. Now what if the cops let him kept running? What's going to happen now? Is he going to run and get a more dangerous weapon from somewhere? Is he going to run and... Because he left his vehicle, so is he going to take someone hostage or and grab their car? Or anything could have happened from that point on when you see how this dude is fucking acting like that. Now, only thing is, cops are trained to shoot to kill, like, wound this nigga. I would have released a whole clip on his ass. At his legs, at his lower. I'm going to shoot him in the ass. Shoot him in the shoot low or something, nigga. You shooting high. You aiming for his vital organs. Because that's the biggest part of your body is your torso. So motherfuckers aim high. You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't know you couldn't let that dude get away, yo. Motherfucker crazy. He acting all crazy and shit. He done fought the cops. Then snatched the weapon from the cops. It's a non-lethal weapon. But then he fired that shit at the cops. But the cops, could you try harder to catch the motherfucker? Because the one was on the ground and the other one was chasing him. Could the other one got up and helped out and gave a little bit more pursuit? Or and the second, the cop who actually shot him dropped his own taser. Like, you didn't want to try to shoot your taser at him? Like, I mean, it could have played out different ways on both people's parts, but the individual who died, like, he brought that shit upon himself. He brought that shit upon himself, bro. You brought that shit upon yourself. Yo, Food Stamp ENT don't fuck with Trap House ENT, boy. We got both of them together. Hey, follow my stream, Food Stamp Entertainment. I like that shit, yo. Trap House ENT, Food Stamp ENT. We in the motherfucking building. Came from the gutter, you know what I'm saying? Started from the bottom, now we here. Yeah, he that's how he got the fucking taser. He beat both of them and got the taser and got up and ran. And that's true too, because the cop, somebody could have ran in between him and the suspect and, you know, got caught in the crossfire, or anything could happen with the cop discharging his firearm. That's why I say it could have been played different on both sides of that shit, yo. Both sides could have played that shit different, yo. The cops could have used a little bit more tactics, a little bit better training. But this motherfucker honestly didn't leave them but his choice. He ain't leave him a lot of choice, yo. You know what I'm saying? You gonna let him get away with the taser in his hand? I don't know. I don't. If I was the officer in his position, I would have shot too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna try to shoot the nigga in the ass or in the legs or something though. Man, why you playing with the numbers and shit? Now this nigga going to numerology and shit, yo. I ain't even peeped that shit. Trap House Food Stamp. Wow, that's crazy, yo. Yeet. Yeet. If anybody gonna tase me, I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker. But that's the only thing. The taser didn't even connect either, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's that situation where you can't blame the cops on this shit, yo. You can't blame the cops. Could the cops have done better? Maybe. Probably. Did they do what they were trained to do? Absolutely. They used lethal force against a hostile suspect with a weapon. Open, shut case. I mean, and it's on camera. And the cops didn't racially profile him. The cops weren't disrespectful or belligerent. And once again, that's what fucking gets me. This dude was so calm. He thought he was out of it. You're not getting out of this shit, dude. You're not. You're going in tonight. You can't pass the sobriety test. You were fucking asleep. You're caught red-handed. And the cops were just calm. And he said, and he even left him by himself. Stay right here. I'm going to go talk to the other officer. I'm going to come back. They weren't being hostile or anything. They're doing their fucking job. Some cops do their fucking job. And this motherfucker forced their goddamn hand. He forced their fucking hand, yo. Could they held back and maybe pluck another card and pick again and hope they get a draw 2 or a draw 4 or something like that? Maybe. But the motherfucker's like, fuck that shit, bro. I'm about to pop this bitch. He got the taser. He shot that taser at me anyway. Bow, bow, bow. Lay down, motherfucker. Oh, you're an artist too? Snap? Let me find out, man. Yo, go to my joint on Instagram, Paintings by the Prince, and follow me. I'll follow you back if you're an artist. I only follow artists, yo. I got a meeting tonight. I got a Zoom meeting. Ooh, MB, I get with you on that in a minute. I get with you on that. I gotta really look at that pic. It may be doable though. It's kind of, I can see it's already like a little old photograph, but alright. 2K, hey bro, I'm an artist, not an athlete. I don't like sports in real life or virtual reality. Do I want to finish listening to this Trevor Nova talk about this dude get killed? Because I hope Trevor doesn't defend this guy. I've seen some people try to defend this. And then some white girl burns down the Wendy's like, wow. Anyway, I went and defend this guy, yo. Just he was in the wrong. He lost his life over that shit for acting stupid. And then if y'all want some real shit, like the two instances in South Carolina, these has been years ago now, but the one guy, forgot his name, the cop shot his ass. The cop stopped him. They're in a park, and the cop confronts this guy over whatever. The guy doesn't even try to fight the cop. The cop was like, well, I'm gonna place you under arrest. The cop didn't even get the cuffs out yet. And the motherfucker just took off running. And the cop pull out his taser, and he drops his taser, and then pulls out his gun and fires 8 rounds. 8 rounds. And kills this man. Man was running away. He didn't engage in any kind of physical contact with the cop. He didn't have a weapon on him or anything. He just ran. And the cops still fucking 8 times. Shot him 8 times. Dead. Another time in South Carolina, a cop pull over a black guy in a pickup truck for whatever reasons. They're at a gas. He pulls him over in a gas station. The cop gets out the fucking car with his gun already drawn. Get out of the vehicles. Guy turns off the car and gets out. Now he has his door open, but he's standing in the door of the car like, okay, he's like, where's your ID? He's like, it's in the car. He's like, get your ID. And so the guy turns and reaches in this truck to grab his wallet, and the cop shoots him twice. He didn't die. He kind of shot him in the stomach and in the hip. He's like, ah! He's like, you shot me. What are you doing? He's like, what are you reaching for? He's like, you told me to get my fucking wallet. And the cop was like, and he got fired. You know what I'm saying? Now those instances, like, the cops are just trigger happy. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But in this case, no, man. Dude kind of asked for that shit.
And the whole time throughout this video, you have human beings being human beings. You have Rayshard, who's clearly inebriated, and he's talking to the cops. And you have the cops asking him the questions. And what was interesting for me about this video is, like, in the beginning, it seems like everything is going to be fine. The cops are talking to him like a person. They're not being aggro. They're not being disrespectful. They're not being mean or anything. He's being respectful. He's calling them sir. He's not cussing them out. He's offering to walk home. Everything is going well. Everything is going well. And then, in one moment, in just a few seconds, every part of that normal story turns into the abnormal ending that we've come to know as interactions with police and black people. because the police try and arrest him. He resists and he wrestles with the police. In the scuffle, they try and tase him. While he's being tased, he grabs the taser, he gets up, he runs away. And I'm missing a few beats of the story because I don't want to take you through too much of it, but that's essentially what happens. Rayshard runs away, and the police chase him. As he's running, he shoots off the taser, and one of the cops switches his weapons from a taser to a gun and shoots Rayshard 2 or 3 times in the back, and he's dead. And immediately everyone goes, everyone goes to their battle stations. That's what plagues me about these stories. Everyone just goes to their battle stations. Immediately people go, well, once again, another example of black people resisting the cops and being criminals, and why are you driving drunk, and why are you running away from the police, and what? And then, of course, you have other people, in their battle stations saying, oh, of course, another story of cops who immediately shoot a black man for just sleeping in his car. But, like, it's messy. No one wants to admit that the thing is messy. It's messy.
Yo, Big Tony, that is the truth.
If this story didn't happen now, maybe we would be looking at it differently. But it's a messy story. It's not the perfect story. And in a weird way, it not being the perfect story means we should look at it in the most perfect way possible. We should try and break it down and understand how something like this comes to be, because we don't always have video like this. We don't always have stories like this. And we don't even always look at it like this. But let's just take a moment to talk about what happened. You have a man who is sleeping in his car.
Okay.
Right? A man who's sleeping in his car, and he's drunk.
And he's drunk.
Was he drunk driving? Let's say he is. Right? So he's broken some law. A law not worth dying for.
Don't do that, Trevor. That's what the fuck I'm saying. And now, I like Trevor a lot. I listen to him more than anybody else, but I'm not going to agree with you when you do shit like this. He's fucking drunk driving, bro. Let's say that he is. Let's say that he is drunk driving. No, he was definitely drunk driving, dude. What the fuck? You're not going to pull up to a fucking fast food joint in the drive-thru and down a half a bottle of Hennessy and get drunk right there and then fall asleep. No, bitch. He was drunk driving there. Once again, how many people did he potentially put in danger before he got to the location where he fell the fuck to sleep? You so drunk, nigga, you fell asleep soon as your car stops. You can't even stay woke for 5 minutes in a resting car. You like a little baby, like, put this bitch in park, yo, fuck that. Like, who does that? So that shit sounded weird how you said, is he drunk driving? We don't know. Maybe he was. No, he definitely was. And yes, we do know. Come on, dude. Don't play it soft, Trevor. I swear to fucking God, bro. Don't make me not listen to some videos from you for a while.
Right? A man who's sleeping in his car and he's drunk. Was he drunk driving? Let's say he is. Right? So he's broken some law. A law not worth dying for. I think we can all agree on that. The police approach him.
No, you shouldn't die for any laws that you break until you are fucking sentenced by the court of law. Or unless you're doing something so outrageous that a motherfucker does have to kill you on sight. So yeah, drunk driving, absolutely, that isn't something you should die over. And nobody's saying that either, Trevor. Like, come on, dude, don't bend this narrative. Who's paying you to say it like this?
And even then, I asked the question, why are armed police dealing with a man who's sleeping in his car? He posed no threat to anybody. No one in Wendy's felt afraid. Cars are driving around him. He's not stopping people from ordering food. So why are armed police there in the first place?
Okay, that's a good point. That's something that I do kind of believe in. In other countries, there's like 2 different sections of police. Like, you do have a initial response team or whatever that are police officers, but they don't have weapons. They just carry like batons and mace, big flashlights and shit like that. And then if shit is really bad, then you call out people with guns. And if you watch, Netflix did one season of they turned the comic book / movie The Watchmen into a series, into a short series, but people hated it so bad that they're not gonna do a second part to it. But anyway, in that series, they depicted the police officers as having to lock, well, their guns are locked inside their vehicle, and they have to call in to the police station and give a reason why they need their gun unlocked so they can use it. If you don't have a valid reason to have your firearm on you and ready, then it remains locked, and someone at a distant location has an access code which will trigger the system to unlock your weapon if you need it. And I think that is, even, you know, a system like that would definitely work way better than the shit we got now. Yeah, true. That got the cop killed, having the gun locked. But at the same time, being a police officer is a job. You gotta put in the application for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't draft you like in military, in war times like that, where they draft young men to go to war. Like, if you want to be a cop, you have to put in the application, an interview, and go through all kind of shit. Like, you want to do that. So that's what comes with the job. And that I don't feel bad for police who die. I just don't. Is it sad? Is it fucked up? Maybe, in a lot of circumstances. Do I feel bad about it? Not really. Because that's what you signed up for. Knowingly. If we had a better society, would there be less risk as a police officer? Absolutely. But motherfuckers know how this world works, in particular the United States of America. And motherfuckers know how shit is. You want to be a cop? Hey, good luck. More power to you. But don't expect me to, like, you know, think cops deserve more money or anything. You're a public fucking servant. A servant. You are a servant to the public. Serve me. I mean, and that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted to do. Anybody made you do that shit. Anybody tell you to sign up for that shit. That's what you wanted to do. You want to be a cop. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Bose. So shit, Brooks, what? The team who shot a cop a few days ago in Minnesota is still alive. Must be a little white kid. It's like, nah. I'm just saying though, man. Military, especially if you volunteer for the military or you volunteer to be a police officer, it's just I don't know what else to tell you. Well, I didn't know people were gonna shoot at me. Man, that's in your job description, bro. And see, I need therapy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know I couldn't be in no position like that. I would be Alonzo from Training Day. Fuck that. Fuck the system. I'm about to abuse the hell out of this power. You know what I'm saying? I don't think my moral judgment is that high for me to say I'm serving the public. Nah, I'm good. Put me in the factory. Don't give me no gun. Oh, my camera just happened to, the battery just happened to die right before I made contact with the suspect. I don't know. No, we ain't got no footage of what actually happened. But I'll tell you what happened. He shot at me first, and then I shot his ass. And the drug money? What drug money? There was some drug money. I think he had $1,000 on him. No, that was it. $1,000. That's all. That's all that we recovered. He's known to carry how much money? Oh, hundreds of thousands? Really? No, he ain't. No, he ain't had no hundreds of thousands on him. I would have noticed that. He just had 1,000, and there were no drugs. Oh, this was a drug deal? You expected how much? Kilos? Oh, no, we didn't see no kilos. Man, there was no drugs. He just had $1,000 on him. That's it. He shot at me. I shot his ass dead. Case closed. And meanwhile, dun dun dun, I got $100,000 and 4 kilos of the purest Colombian. So today, we're going to be painting black paint. And after we paint black, we're going to paint some more black and paint some more black until all the background is covered. Enjoy! This is exciting. So excited! I still can't believe how Trevor trying to frame this narrative right here, though, man. I'm gonna finish listening to you, Trevor. Do not, in the end, do not defend this guy.
That's the question. I think, like, these are all the questions we need to ask. Why? Why are armed police the first people who have to go and respond to somebody who's sleeping in their car, who is drunk? Secondly, why do the police not give... I mean, the man says to them, I will walk home. If you're protecting and serving people, what is the true purpose of you not wanting people to drive drunk? It's that you don't want them killing themselves and other people. In this instance, no one had died because of his driving, and he hadn't killed himself because of his driving. And so as a police officer, maybe it's because I live in a utopian world where the police are truly just trying to protect and serve, not trying to write enough tickets, not trying to get enough people arrested, not trying to fill quotas. No, they're trying to protect and serve. In that instance, you would hope a policeman would say, sir, you do not look fit to drive. You said your sister lives around the corner. You said you live, we'll take you home. We didn't find you driving drunk. We found you asleep in a car. So we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The country's burning down because of the way black people are dealt with by the police. So let us show you just in a moment that it doesn't always have to end the way you think it has to end.
Yeah, Trevor, like you say, in a utopian society, I mean, I've even had old heads tell me stories like this when they were kids, but that's like the 60s, early 70s. And they're like, oh, the cops will find us drinking and like, take your ass home, and they'll follow us to the house, and as soon as we pull in the driveway, they'll keep going, or they'll drop us off at our parents, or take the keys from us and make sure we walk home or something like that. Like, nigga, shit like that don't happen no more. Well, I'll walk home. I don't think we're gonna let you walk home. But like you say, I mean, in a utopian society, that would have been nice. Like, yeah, you know what? You are drunk, and we could take you in. But if you're willing to walk, now look, I'm going to take the keys to the vehicle, because I ain't about to let you walk off, and then as soon as we dip, you come back and get in the car and haul ass. So I'm not writing you a ticket or a warning or anything. I'm going to give you my card. My name is Officer Prince. I'm taking these keys to the precinct. They're going to be in Lost and Found tomorrow. Come down there, ask if anybody found a set of keys, describe them, and you can get your keys back tomorrow after you sober up some. Now that's a utopian society. That would be the ultimate gracefulness from our public servants. But like you say, man, the cops were just as nice as they could be, without being so nice that they gonna be a fucking sucker. And it doesn't matter though, like, you were wrong. And they don't have to be that fucking nice to you, because you're wrong. Candyland cops and peppermint sticks. Okay. That'll be so nice. If the cops were really like, yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? It would be. But if was a fifth, we all be drunk, bitch. Like, it's not like that. And that is true as well. If it was a fucking utopia, where would the crime be? This is utopia, not a dystopia. See, and that's why I'm not getting with Trevor right now. I'm trying so hard because I really like Trevor. I watch his stand-ups. I laugh at his jokes. He's half black from South Africa. He can do a bunch of accents. Bruh. I'm not getting this right now.
I'm not saying they had to do that, but it would have been nice. They arrest him. He fights. Now, you know what's messy about this whole thing is we forget you are dealing with a drunk person. You're dealing with somebody. The very fact that you're not allowed to sign a contract when you're drunk, the very fact that you're not allowed to do anything when you're drunk, tells us something about drunk people. We know what a drunk person is in society. They're not going to do the logical thing. So as a policeman, if a drunk person does an illogical thing, I feel like you should acknowledge the fact that they're drunk. It doesn't mean they deserve to die. They're drunk. We know what drunk people do. I've been drunk. You've been drunk. Everyone has been drunk. You don't deserve to die for being drunk. And if police cannot respond or cannot handle a drunk person, well, then they shouldn't be responding. If you responding to a person who's drunk means that person can be dead, the whole point of you going there was to make sure that people don't die because of whatever's happened. But if the people are going to end up dead anyway, then what's the point? And people say he shouldn't have resisted. Yeah, he's drunk. I'm not excusing his act, but he's drunk. In a situation like that, the sober person, in my opinion, the sober person, the onus is upon them to make sure the situation doesn't get out of hand. You're sober. He's drunk. How are two sober men wrestling with a drunk person on the ground? How does it get that far? How does it end with him losing his life? And people always say the same thing. They go, well, you know, if you didn't do that, then you would still be alive. They say this shit all the time, if you didn't do that. But the truth is, the ifs keep on changing. Oh, if you didn't resist arrest. If you didn't resist arrest, you would still be alive. Or if you didn't run away from the cops, you would still be alive. Well, if you didn't have a toy gun and were 12 years old in the middle of a park, then you would have still been alive. Well, you know what? If you weren't wearing a hoodie, you would have still been alive. Well, you know, if you didn't talk back to the cops, you would have still been alive. If you weren't sleeping in your bed as a black woman, you would have still been alive.
Once again, if was a fifth.
There's one common thread beyond all the ifs. If you weren't black, maybe you'd still be alive.
That's not it, Trevor.
Well, that's our show for tonight. But before we go...
That's not it, Trevor. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Let's see what Jocko has to say
Think
about
you know FanDuel?
defunding the
Well, what if
police.
we told you that we've got an ace up our sleeve?
Yo,
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Fool's Down, you
This
still
is
in here, bro?
a lot of it is this, right? So
Fool's Down Entertainment, you still in here? Cause after this, I'm gonna have to play you some of my Trap House Entertainment music, bitch. I might. That ENT make me want to hear my rap days now.
people are feeling a certain way, and they're not feeling like this girl that wrote All Lives Matter. Do you think that was her clandestine way of showing that she's all about white pride? You know what I mean? No. She was thinking, hey, everyone matters. She's probably having some nice thoughts, you know? But then all of a sudden, no, this chick is evil, right, for doing this. And I think there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot of people I think most people are pretty sane. I think most people are pretty reasonable. I think, anybody looking at the George Floyd case is like, yeah, that's completely wrong. That's disgusting. It's horrible. It's heinous to watch. I haven't heard anyone say anything other than that. So how are we just getting so completely divided on this whole thing and start attacking each other just over absolutely everything?
That's a good point, because this is literally a case where no one is saying there's nothing wrong with what that cop did. No one.
Zero people.
Zero people. But yet everybody's still at each other's throats.
Zero people have stuck up for that guy in any way, shape, or form.
Even law enforcement. No law enforcement people saying you gotta.
Who is at everybody's throats? I don't even get that statement. Am I gonna disagree with everybody today? I don't want to do that. But if I have to, it's not like, oh, nobody disagreed with what happened to George Floyd was a travesty. Yeah, we understand that. That shit was heinous. It was a fucking murder by a law enforcement agent caught on live camera. So now the black man just have to shout that shit all over again, louder and louder and louder, Black Lives Matter, until motherfuckers pay attention. And now this time, for some reason, that murder was so gruesome and grotesque, so fucking immoral and obvious that they're toppling statues in Germany and Europe and fucking everywhere of any racist, colonizer, slave owner, whatever, just to show the system like we all know this shit is fucked up and corrupt, and we're tired of it. And that's not like again, who's attacking who? Who's going at who's next? I mean, I don't know. And I'm not out there burning shit and toppling statues and shit, but I get it. You know, I get it. Absolutely understand. You know what I'm saying? They're burning their own communities. The motherfuckers don't own none of that shit. That's not their community. That's white people's businesses and properties that black people just happen to inhabit and work for. But that's not theirs. That's not their community. And that's the whole thing that we as a ethnic group need to understand. Like, we don't have communities, or very, 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 very few of them. We don't have a community. We occupy white communities of substandard conditions. That's all it is. That's all that it is, you know? So, I get why people want to revolt. But after all this revolting is done, what's the game plan? That's the only thing. Like, okay, what's the fucking game plan? We need a plan. A decisive outcome, terms, conditions, something. Alright, y'all gonna burn that shit down? Burn it! Burn it to the fucking ground! Yes! Burn that bitch down! Now what? Any ideas? No? Didn't think so. No. Let's go burn something else. Alright, yes. Let's keep it. Let's burn Wendy's. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. What we gonna do? Alex, what up? Yeet. Oh, champagne? I watched that Dave Chappelle shit like 17 times already, bro. The first day it came out. I done watched it in my stream twice. I done listened to it at work 13 times. I went to sleep listening to Dave Chappelle talking to me about social ills of our society. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. Why y'all think I'm as funny as I am? And I don't even be trying. You feel me? Shit just natural. That comes from years and years of listening to Dave Chappelle. I'm hilarious. I ain't a comedic genius like Dave Chappelle is, but I get some laughs. Ooh, he said that's a beautiful painting. And you know what my response was? I said, I know. Don't you mean thank you? Thank you for what? Bitch, I know this shit look good. What's wrong with you? I gotta thank you for that shit. Oh, thank you for telling me something I already know. Shit. Beautiful painting, I know. It is, isn't it? It's a fucking masterpiece. Ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier. I ain't gonna start that shit, all that singing shit. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Oh, oh, keeping your head up. Nobody deserves to get shot unless they do something that would make them deserve to get shot. I'm just saying. Oh. So we feeling in the background, yeah. Feeling in the background, yeah. So we feeling in the background, yeah. Come on. Right there. Just like it. Da. It's gonna be the simplest part of the painting. That's why I'm just go ahead and get a nice little coat on this right now, because it's the simplest part. I'm far enough along so I can get this done. So we've completed all the skin tones with the first layer. We've done most of the red for the first layer, because most of it is consistent within the fringe ruffles on her garment and the flowers, but there is a little bit of this magenta, this pinkish red color within the floral patterns. So I'll probably add that next, just because that color is still on my palette. And then after that, we'll fill in the garment itself with this teal, aquamarine, blue, sapphire color. It's so pretty. It's just such a pretty blue. I love that. So, but first we got to do this boring part. But it's easy. It's boring, but it's easy. You know, this is so easy. I could have you do this. I could hand you the brush and then just say, look, don't paint on the lines, and that's it. And then you'll understand exactly what I mean, and then you can finish painting this shit black. It's just gonna take a little minute, because you need to cover every part. You don't want to leave no hollow spots in it. You know what I'm saying? No hollow spots. But that's why you tone the canvas gray to start with, so that if you do leave a hollow spot by accident, it won't be so noticeable, because the canvas behind it is gray and not white. Y'all owe everybody who just heard that. Y'all owe me $25 for a one-on-one paint instructionals. You can send it to my PayPal or my Zelle account. Knowledge is power. I'm trying to empower y'all motherfuckers. And I apologize if you don't like being called a motherfucker, you son of a bitch. Yeet. Just like.
Understand, this is how you control a man. You gotta lean on his neck for about 8 minutes, 45 seconds, 46 seconds. No one's saying that.
And unfortunately, you know what they're saying? They're saying defund the police.
Yeah.
They're saying no more chokeholds, right? Which
I think is crazy.
Yeah. If you want to get someone to be under control and you can't choke them, you know what you have to do? You have to hit them in the head with a baton.
Yeah.
7 times, and you got to risk giving them brain damage, permanently injuring them. If people know what they're doing, I mean, obviously, if people know what they're doing, we'll put a chokehold. They'll wake up. They'll be cuffed.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Yeah, obviously, but it's the people that are doing it wrong is the problem. The people that shouldn't be doing it in the first place. It's untrained people. But if you're a cop and you're in a fight for your life and you can't use chokeholds, that's fucking crazy.
It's insane.
You're gonna get shot and killed, or somebody else is gonna get shot and killed. Someone's gonna take your gun.
Yeah, and the idea of defund the police.
I do believe that because MMA fighters use chokeholds all the time to put somebody into a submission. If you're doing it right and you're not trying to kill someone, if you're just trying to make someone submit, even to the point where you have to cut off their oxygen long enough to make them pass out for a second or two, do that shit. But you don't have to kill a motherfucker. And for one, I'm a goddamn grappler. I've taken a little bit of boxing, I've taken some wrestling and shit, and I prefer wrestling. In most fights that I've been in a few fights, and I've lost a couple, and I'll admit that. But the ones I've won, I'm gonna punch you in your face, and I'm going to choke you. And that's how I win a fight. I'm gonna punch you in your face, and I'm gonna put you in a guillotine. I'm gonna choke the fucking... I'm not about to sit here and keep sparring and throwing all these fucking punches, bitch. I'm gonna choke you the fuck out. And if you get out of that, then I might throw a few more. I done knock a nigga out before. You know what I'm saying? But my first attack, I'm gonna punch you in the face, and then I'm going to choke you. I'm going to try to choke the life out of you. It's easy. It's easier that way. It's energy efficient to grapple someone to the ground. You get them to the point where they can't hardly breathe, and then you can pummel them a few times. Boom, the fight's over. It's just that quick. Quick and easy. Simple. So yeah, not having police be able to use a chokehold technique, like they say, you're gonna get fucked up, bro. I can't choke you. If somebody says like, yo, Trap, you wanna fight? I'm like, hell yeah, I'll fight you, bitch. Well, but you can't choke. I don't wanna fight then. If I can't choke, that's not a fair fight. I'm gonna do whatever I can. And my first move, yo, so if any of us ever get mad enough to engage in fisticuffs, y'all, you just think to yourself, this nigga gonna try to choke me. And you will be correct. You will be 100% correct. I'm not gonna kick you. I'm not gonna bite you or nothing. I'm gonna punch you in your face and choke you. Slam you to that damn ground. If I can get that air out your ass quick enough, punch you a few more times, that should be it. Finish your ass off. Finish him. Angry man. No. That's if you are a professional fighter. If you're registered as a professional fighter, now that's different. Yeah, your hands are fucking weapons. Mike Tyson just can't get in a bar fight. He's going to jail for assault with a deadly weapon. I just punched punched him. Yeah, and you're a professional fucking boxer. That's a deadly weapon compared to the average person. But if the average person does some shit like that, somebody who's not a trained fighter, it's just called assault. Assault and battery. Now, and that's why they have assault and battery, or assault and battery with a deadly weapon, assault and battery with intent to kill, and all different kind of variations of that shit.
I understand the premise, okay? And this is once again where many people that say defund the police, they don't mean, hey, just get rid of the police. Of course, there's a fraction of people that are saying defund the police means we don't want any more police anymore. There's a portion of people saying that. There's some people that are saying, well, if we defund the police, we can relocate some of that money and we can do, better schools and we can put money into the infrastructure inside these neighborhoods. But here's the problem. You know what the police need more than anything else? They need money for training. And the way the police departments are set up, they do the most ridiculously minuscule amount of training for what their job is. So, as you know, I was in the SEAL teams. We would train for 18 months. 18 months we would train to go on a 6-month deployment. Cops, they get like 2 hours or 4 hours of combatives training a year. A year. That's complete insanity.
Insanity.
It's complete insanity. The thing I've been saying is cops should train 1/5 of the time. 1/5 of the time you should be training, whether it's 2 hours a day, 4 times a week, or whether it's 1 day a week, where you're going to go and you're going to go through scenarios. You're going to do combatives. You're going to work with simunition. You're going to do de-escalation drills. Because it's really hard. I mean, being a cop I think is the hardest job in the world. And by the way, they're not going to have to worry about defunding the police because no one's going to want to be a cop anymore. Who is going to be fired up to be a cop right now? Who's going to think, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be hated by by a massive portion of the country. I want to be viewed as someone that kills innocent people. The recruiting in cop for police is going to go down so hard. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. And then who are you getting there? You're going to get people that are worse level people. Worse level humans are going to show up to be cops. So the training piece, though, they should do very, very scenario-driven training, right? Where you come into a room, and this isn't like super expensive stuff either. You come into a room, there's a person there, they appear to be compliant. You learn how to talk to them. You very quickly learn that instead of yelling them out of the gate, you say, "Hey man, what's going on? Hey, what's your name? What's going on? We got a call here. Is everything okay?" You just immediately de-escalate. Then you learn what to do when they don't respond the way you want them to respond. Then you learn what to do when they start to do something drastic. What's the best thing for you? And you play through these scenarios. It's just like jiu-jitsu in the fact that what makes jiu-jitsu good? What makes jiu-jitsu good is we can go hard against each other over and over again and not really get hurt, not really get killed. So you get really good at it. That's what you need to do in training for police. You need to go through these tough scenarios over and over again because you do get better at it. You do get better at it. You learn how to mentally detach and not get emotional and realize that there's other things that are happening. When you see the George Floyd case, a couple of the other cops, I think two of the other guys were complete rookies, right? They've been on the force for a very short period of time. No one in that group of 4, obviously you got the killer himself, he's actually conducting the act, but all the other guys are not paying attention. They're all emotional themselves. Hey, stay back, and they're probably watching him saying, why isn't that guy moving? And they're just caught up in it. Whereas if someone would have showed up on the scene, or one of those guys had been through some good training in their life, they would have said, what's happening here? Oh,
it don't even take good training to know you about to kill this nigga. You're like 8 minutes, nigga. For what? Why are you down there for 8 minutes? It's 4 cops. He's restrained. Why aren't we picking him up and putting him into the fucking squad car and taking him in? You're not even talking to the dude anymore. He's just begging for his life. Why didn't you let him up? And the other cops, I don't give a fuck how rookie you are, nigga. You did some police. You made it through the academy, right? You made it through the academy. You know this shit is obviously fucking wrong. This is wrong as shit. You ain't even gotta be a cop to know that shit. Like, goddamn. You can lean on a goddamn dog for that long, and the motherfucker like, hey, get the fuck off that dog. What the fuck are you doing? Like that lady in the park who called the cops on the. I'm gonna call the cops on you and tell them there's an African American man threatening my life. And then the bitch yanked her dog up by the leash. Dog like started barking, and then the next day fucking animal rights came and took her fucking dog, like and she ain't even had to lean on the dog neck for 8 minutes. She just yanked the dog 1 or 2 times and held him up in the air by the leash for like 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. Motherfuckers on that bitch ass. Get the dog back, get the dog up. You just completely harassed and damage that dog just now. This dog is gonna have to go to doggy therapy. How dare you treat that animal like that? You held him by the leash for 2.2 seconds. You're a terrible person. You don't deserve to have this dog. Then a few days later, a motherfucker got a knee on a man's neck for 8 minutes. Nigga, then 9 minutes. Like, you don't think you need to stop now? You don't think you good, right? He said he can't breathe like 5 minutes ago. I mean, there is 8 minutes. You know how much shit you can do in 8 minutes? Man, Mike Tyson done knocked niggas out in 60 seconds. You know what you can do in 8 minutes? God, my goddamn. It don't take but 2 minutes for me to heat up my goddamn Jamaican beef patty. And that's from frozen solid. 2 minutes. That shit is hot and ready to eat. Not many beef patties I can heat up in 8 minutes. Let's do the math. It's 4. But I'm just saying though. Why ain't nobody? God damn it, you son of a bitch. I don't know. This world is crazy. I'm basically done with it. You know, I just live on my own planet. Keep the peace with the peace. Peace for peace. My man said peace for peace.
My partner over there has been on this guy for 2 minutes. He's not moving anymore. I'm gonna walk over and say, hey man, let me take over. I got this. Go over there, decompress. This takes training. You have to train people. And I saw this over and over again in the SEAL teams, training guys. You get a young kid that's coming through training for the first time, and they go into a room and they're getting shot with simunition bullets, or there's someone yelling and screaming, or we'd put Arabic women coming walking out of rooms. We'd have people get blown up with wounds. We would do this to them over and over again. So they realize, okay, I just got to relax. I got to take a step back. I got to detach from this situation so I can process what's happening and I can make a good decision. Because, as I said earlier, no one is making a good decision when they're panicked, when they're freaked out, when they're scared. As a jiu-jitsu guy, when someone puts hands on you, you're not actually scared, right? You're like, oh, okay, I know what to do here. If you don't know jiu-jitsu, if you've never had someone grab you before, or you haven't had someone grab you in 17 months or 14 months, no one's laid hands on you because you got a badge and a gun. So people, when you tell them to do something, 95% of the time they go, okay, yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. But then somebody grabs you. You're instantly, your emotions are spiked, your adrenaline spiked, and the only way to overcome that is through consistent training that happens on a regular basis. You can't just train somebody one time. It's like ring rust. You know, you can't just train somebody one time and, oh, now I don't need to train anymore. No, you need to do continuous training. So that fact right there, if we want to help the police through these situations, we need to invest more money into them. We need to get them better training. We need to pull them out of the field to train and pull them out of the field to decompress. Because you ever done a ride along?
No.
Like whether you're doing a ride along, whether you're going into any situation where you're thinking you could be killed, and even if it's just a remote chance, but you're doing that all the time, and you're seeing on the news, you hear this, your buddy got shot, your buddy got whatever, this other guy got, take his gun taken away. Like, that stuff happens. People get killed. I mean, there's been 31 cops killed this year. 31 cops killed this year. And a lot of those, that's not including, like a car accident or COVID. There's been a bunch died of COVID, but just people that have been engaged with bad guys and they got killed. So you're a cop. When another cop gets killed, you're thinking that could be you. So that's your mindset, and that mindset builds, and you're working 10-hour days, and you're working 12-hour days, and there's no training, and there's no breaks. Where do you end up, right? Where do you end up? You end up being a little bit paranoid. You end up being a little bit angry. What happens when you get in a fight with your wife? It's like all these things, you add them together. It's a freaking hard job. And from like an entire systemic way of training and recruiting and keeping police ready to do their job, whatever that job entails. Because let's face it, most of the time that job entails, most of the time it entails, hey, I'm about to go have a bad relationship with another human being. That's what's about to happen, right? Whether I'm pulling you over, whether I've been called to your house because you were yelling and screaming and people heard your wife screaming or whatever. That's what's happening. I'm showing up in a bad relationship. You don't like me and I already don't like you. That's where we start. So we got to train people for that. We also got to train them for all the times that they go in to help people, save people. They're the first people on the scene at car accidents. People are bleeding out. We got to train them for that. And then they have to also be trained for, hey, this is a bad guy this is the guy that you just talked about at a gas station with a weapon that wants to kill a bunch of people. You got to be prepared for that whole spectrum as a police officer. And yet we send them to a 3-month-long police academy, and then we send them out in the street, and that's what they do, day in, day out, day in, day out.
It seems to me that they need to be vetted too, much better than they are now. Just like the SEALs. Like, you can't get through BUD/S unless you are a superior human being. You have to be able to tolerate a bunch of shit that most people are going to fall apart during. And this seems to me this is a great way to weed out people that just don't have it.
Yeah, there's one thing that's interesting, just from a physical perspective, most police departments don't even have a minimum physical requirement to continue to be on the force. You have to be at a certain level to graduate from the academies, but oftentimes there's no standard beyond that.
Yeah, I've seen cops before that were like, this is hilarious. Like, what is going to stop someone from closing the distance on you? Like, you ain't getting to that gun.
Yeah. But the mental aspect is stuff that you can get better at.
Yes.
You can get better at it, but you only get better at it through training.
Right.
And you only get really comfortable through training a lot. And yet, we put these people in these horrible positions over and over and over again, and we don't give them the proper training.
And now there's these politicians that, because of the current social climate, they're encouraged to want to defund the police. That's a great way for them to get brownie points from their constituents. The people want the police defunded, which is it's the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life. It's so crazy that this is actually gaining steam to the point where in Minneapolis, because they're trying to quiet down the mob, they've actually gone ahead and done it. What the fuck is Minneapolis going to look like in a year from now? It's going to look like Mad Max. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be, criminals will go there to commit crimes. If there's no police there, are you crazy?
By the way, this Jocko energy drink is the shit. It's very legit.
Right.
I just don't understand where they think this game ends, and I don't think they've planned it out. They're not playing chess.
The other thing that you're talking about this brownie points for the politicians, and there's brownie points and there's people trying to create sides. It's my side versus your side, and that's a completely political thing, right? And all that does is increase the divide between the police and the civilians. And this reminds me a lot of counterinsurgency, right? So counterinsurgency, the insurgents are, bad guys inside of a country.
I don't agree with that either. Oh, you're creating guides, you're creating sides against, the bad guys and the police or this or whatever, and it's not that. Everyone else creates sides as soon as black people try to do some shit. Now, are we going about it the right way? Everybody got their own opinion. But the campaign of Black Lives Matter, this shit has been going on for 100 years. This just didn't happen with the Baltimore incident a few years ago. Marcus Garvey was saying Black Lives Matter. W.E.B. Du Bois was saying Black Lives Matter. Dr. Martin Luther King was saying Black Lives Matter. Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, and the Black Panthers. That's what we've always been saying is, our fucking lives matter. Black lives matter. So don't say, you're trying to draw a divide and pick a side. Like, no. Niggas say Black Lives Matter, and then the cops say, Blue Lives Matter. And then white people say, all lives matter. So who's really making a divide here, and who's trying to make other people pick a side? I don't like that shit. Like, once again, the only reason there is these other slogans is because black folks came up with this shit, or the concept or the idea of Black Lives Matter, and now y'all gotta find a way to counteract that shit every time. Like, that shit never makes fucking sense to me, yo.
Country's not bad. There's some bad guys in a country. So what you have to do is you actually have to go out and build relationships with the good people inside that country, so that the good people inside that country can help you get rid of the bad people. What happens if you go out, and this is Ramadi, Iraq, this is my last deployment to Iraq. There's a bunch of just totally normal, good people, Iraqi people, that are living in the city of Ramadi. What do they want to do? You know what they want to do? They want to send their kids to school. They want to run their little market. They want to do whatever that they do. That's what they want to do. They have the same goal as a normal family. They're just a normal bunch of people. And inside that group of people, there's a bunch of bad people. And these are insurgents. Some of them are foreign fighters. Some of them are foreign regime elements from Saddam, but they're bad. And they want to create chaos and mayhem. So, Americans, we go in there. If we go in there super heavy-handed, and
I get his analogy, but it's weird that he's such a military head that this is the only analogy that he can make it, is comparing cops and black people to the military and Iraqis. It's not even the fucking same, bro. Similar, but not near the same context at all. There's a completely different race relations between the military and any foreign country that they go and attempt to invade and conquer.
While I go to capture or kill one bad guy, I kill or maim a couple of those normal civilians. What happens? Well, a couple of those normal civilians' family go, wait, you guys aren't good. You guys are bad. You guys just killed my brother and he didn't do anything wrong. And then we do it again. And then we do it again. and then we do it again. And each time that we do this, we're creating more animosity from the local populace, who, by the way, like I said, they're just good, normal people. So what we had to do is really focus on going out and building relationships with the local populace. How do we do that? And one of the things, this happened after I left, but you remember the surge that took place, and they sent a bunch more troops over there. Part of the reason that they sent that surge, and part of the reason that that was allowed to happen, was because the Battle of Ramadi, where I fought, went very well. And since it went well, people said, well, maybe we can pull this off. So they sent more troops. And one of the directives that General Petraeus gave is, he said there can be no more drive-by counterinsurgency. And what he meant by that was, when you go to a neighborhood, you can't just drive through the neighborhood in your Humvee, in your bulletproof Humvee with your windows up, drive through, show of force, and then leave. That doesn't work. What you have to do is stop your vehicles. You have to get out. You have to talk to the local populace. You have to ask them what's going on. You have to ask them if they need anything. You have to build relationships with the local populace, the good local populace that just wants those insurgents out of there. And that's what I don't see happening. And the more we increase this divide between the police and the civilians, the worse that's going to get. And so the police have to start doing a better job of outreach of, hey, well, you know, I asked you if you did a ride-along. They should be offering ride-alongs all the time to the local kids, 17-year-old kids, 15-year-old kids. Hey, come and see what my job is like. Come and help me out. That 15-year-old kid, he knows who the bad actors are. He knows who the good kids are. You know, bring that kid along on a ride-along. Let him see what it looks like from your angle. Get out, meet the parents, meet the families. We're failing to build relationships between the police and the civilians, and that causes that causes these problems.
I think you're 100% correct, but I don't hear anybody repeating what you're saying. That's what's terrifying to me. I think everything you're saying is logical. It makes sense. It comes from experience. I don't hear anybody saying this.
Yeah, and well, I think maybe it's because people just don't recognize what's happening because they're too in it, right? They're too in it. They're wrapped up in it, and that's another part. You know, I talked about recruiting. Who are you recruiting? Recruit those kids. Recruit those kids, but you have to build a relationship with them before you can act. Before anyone's going to go into the police. And look, I think it's the LA Police Department. If you look at the LA Police Department compared to the racial makeup of LA, they're pretty equivalent, and they're pretty equivalent on purpose. They do that for a reason. So you got to get that. You got to continue to build those relationships so that we talk to one another. You know, we actually communicate with each other, because anytime, you know, I'm allowed to sit over here in my area and you're sitting over there in your area, we're building animosity. We build that kind of animosity between each other, and now the littlest thing. I mean, there was a woman that was killed in Minneapolis like 2-3 years ago. Do you remember this one?
Yes.
Female.
Yes.
Like a yoga instructor. Called the police. Called the police to report a disturbance. The police showed up, and there's no video, no footage. She gets killed by the cops. It's insane that these things happen. But we also have to remember like I said, what is a police officer thinking about? And what kind of training have we given them? And what kind of psychological screening, to your point, what kind of strike? And it's not just one-time psychological screening, because guess what? People get burnt out, and it happens at different times to different people. You take 35 guys in combat. I've got some guys at the end of a 6-month deployment, you know what they're telling me? Can I stay longer? I'm doing fine. You get 1 month into that deployment, and you've got other guys that are saying, hey, do you need anyone to head home early? Right? That happens. So you think in a police force of 1,000 people, or whatever size your police force is, you're going to have some people that are steady, mentally stable. They can deal with it. They can be in an officer-involved shooting today, and tomorrow they can go back to their job and be perfectly fine. There's other people, they can never work again after they're in an officer-involved shooting. What kind of investment are we making into this psychological health of police? And look, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm sitting here just putting it all on the police, because everyone is playing a role in this. And one of the things that you need to look at as well is how to get arrested, right? There should be a public service course on how you should get arrested. this is what you should do. If the cops are pulling you over, if the cops approach you about something, here's what you should think. One of the things you should think is, okay, this cop may not be bad. This cop may be looking out for my welfare right now. That's a great, hopeful thought. The other thing that you have to think is kind of worst case scenario. This cop might be agitated. This cop might be looking for somebody that fits my description. This cop might have just been in a fight with his wife. He might have just lost a partner. There's a million bad things. Use that scenario in your head. Use that scenario in your head to contemplate how you're going to interact with a police officer, which is, you know what they're looking at? They're looking at your hands. You know why? Because that's where the threat comes from. The threat comes from your hands. So when you're making quick movement with your hands, don't do that. Listen to what they say. Move slowly when you move. This should be public service. The police should be putting out, hey, if you interact with the police, we hate to have to say this, but since our police sometimes are in bad situations, here's some things we recommend and we highly suggest and we beg. We beg that you do this. We beg, because what happens to these cops when they kill somebody? What happens to them? Their lives are just totally destroyed.
Well, that was the thing about that guy in Minneapolis. He'd already killed people. He'd already been involved in, I think it's at least 2 shootings, and he had more than a dozen complaints against him.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
It's obvious by the end result.
Yeah.
That's the type of guy he was. It's pretty obvious by the fact that he was able to do that to a man. The guy's literally calling out to his dead mother. You know, I mean, the type of man that can stay on someone's neck while they're doing that when all that guy did was have a counterfeit $20 bill. That's it.
This is where, when you talk about psychological screening, and that's why I'm saying it has to be constant.
Yeah.
Because people change, right? And red flags. I mean, like you said, hindsight's 20/20. We're looking at this case now. We're going, oh, who the hell lets this guy continue to police? And by the way, interestingly enough, if you talk to internal affairs at police departments, the vast majority of the complaints that they get about police are from police. So they report each other. That's a little known fact. Most of the reports don't come from the civilians out there saying, hey, this happened or that happened. Most of the time it's cops saying, hey, this guy was out of line here.
Well, that's a good sign. It doesn't look rosy. When I'm looking at the future, I don't see a way during this climate.
Well, what scares me the most is I don't see a way if we don't talk to each other. That's where there's no solution. Because, you know, look, for every 10 viral video that you see of a cop hitting somebody with a baton or a rioter throwing something through a window, for every 10 of those viral videos, there's another viral video that has, you know, the guy with the free hugs t-shirt on that's out talking to the cops and saying, hey, you know, I get it. And they're communicating with each other and talking. And when you communicate with people, it's just like the hostage rescue basic technique. You want to humanize. You want to humanize instead of dehumanize. And right now, we're just dehumanizing each other completely. And that's what scares me more than anything else, is if we can't talk to each other. Because, look, you take the most hardened soldier in war. Some badass soldier that's done 4 deployments, 6 deployments, whatever, and you put him into a room with a kid and a mom, an Iraqi kid and her mom, or an Afghan kid and mom, and you put them in that room and say, hey, sit here for 15 minutes and find out what they're about. Here's an interpreter. That guy's going to come out of there going, yeah, I get where they're coming from. And same thing, vice versa. You take a hardened jihadist and you say, hey, talk to this guy over here about what he's trying to do inside your country. Just talk to him. When you open up the communications, and are you going to get some extremists on both ends? Yes.
That never works, though. Talk to this guy about what he's trying to do in your country. But the only thing is, white countries never have to worry about that. They never have to worry about somebody invading their lands and, well, you know, talk to this Iraqi about what he's trying to do in your country. Like, we don't have to deal with that. And it's weird. So I don't see why, like, any other countries like America at all. You know? I don't know, Jocko. Like, he seemed like a pretty cool guy, but he's just so military-minded, and I'm so anti-military, and that's like the only way he can think of anything, any analogies, his whole, I mean, that's his whole life is this is that his military career, and now he's out of the military, but he's still like so military minded. When I was in Iraq, the deployment that I went on, and this and this. It's like, all right, bro, enough military talk, dude. But I told my homeboy that shit too, like, and like I said, my homeboy who's a police officer, and I was telling him, like, man, the one thing that got me about that Atlanta shooting is that he was able to do that. He was able to outmaneuver two officers to the point where he took the weapon from one of them. Like, how did both of y'all get beat up by one man? And he got up and got a head start running on y'all bitches. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And they're just like, well, Jocko did make a good point, though. Like, man, y'all ain't had to do that shit for how long? Because y'all don't have to go through training, you know? Y'all don't have to do constant training week in and week out, month in and month out. And now your fat, lazy ass then got all comfortable in your job, no matter how polite and nice you are as a public servant. But when the shit hit the fans, you can't even, both of y'all can't even take one man down. What the fuck y'all ain't go to the gym last weekend? Y'all ain't been hitting the punching bag or nothing, man. What the hell y'all doing? And he got up and outran you to the point where he had enough distance in between you to shoot back at you. Cop was like, fuck it, I'm too fat for this shit. I'm gonna kill this bitch. Hello, yeah, we need paramedics. We got a civilian down. Yeah, shots fired. No, he tried to run. I'm not about to chase this motherfucker, man. I got bunions and my back hurts. My back hurts. And neither one of them cops look fit or in shape. And that's the thing, like, I look more fit and in shape than most police officers. And I be wanting a motherfucker to... Bitch, you wouldn't catch me. Not in no sprint. I mean, I ain't gonna do no marathon, but in the sprint, and I know where the fuck I'm going, hit a couple of paths, jump a fence. Bitch, you ain't catching me. Look at you. You fat motherfucker. You's a fat cop. And most cops I see are just like not in shape. Like, bruh, do you even hit the bench, the weights, or anything? No, you don't even do like yoga, Pilates, or nothing, man. Nothing. You don't just stretch in the morning. No, just coffee and bagels. And that's it. Steak lunches. Okay. This motherfucker say he took karate when he was in middle school. Middle school, nigga, you 47. Fuck you talking about middle school? Recently I seen one cop. This motherfucker look like he been on this shit. Like, oh, you ain't gonna beat his ass and you ain't gonna outrun this motherfucker. He look fit and in shape. I'm like, wow, don't all cops look like that? You the one motherfucker, like, if anything happened, they gonna make sure you get a chase. He's running. Joey, catch him. They gonna send you out there, young boy. Once again, every time I envision myself as a police officer, I just keep thinking about Alonzo from Training Day. That would absolutely 100% be the type of cop that I would be. 100%. I won't even try to deny it. All right, what time is it? I got a meeting at 7. I might just chill in the studio until then. What y'all guys say? I got a meeting at 7. Ooh, I got a meeting at 7 on Zoom. I got a meeting at 7. Ooh, I got a meeting at 7. It's on Zoom. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and ya boom, boom. Just shake your rump. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and ya boom, boom. Now, if you don't know what that means, what it translates to is, I want to stick my penis in your vagina. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and ya boom, boom. Just shake your rump. All I wanna, my bad. Would you mind if I insert my phallus into your vaginal area? Just shake your rump. Zoom, 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 and your boom, boom. You ain't never zoom, zoom, and nobody boom, boom, have you? I bet you ain't. But the first time you ever zoom, zoom, nigga. Especially if it's in somebody boom, boom. And especially if they can shake their rump. Lord, 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 Lord. Amazing. That's why that's the only thing you want to do. All I want to do is zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, you know where I want to do it at. In your boom, boom. And all I want to do is on my zoom, 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 and your boom, boom. Music was so simple back in the day. What up, though? Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. I mean, tomorrow is hump day. What I got planned for tomorrow? Not a whole lot. But this weekend, that shit gon' rock. Why? That shit gon' pop. Why? Cause it's Juneteenth. Oh shit, the Juneteenth Jubilee. Celebrate like some free slaves, motherfuckers. Alright, freedom, 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 freedom. Now, all we need is that 40 acres and a mule y'all promised us, and everything will be squared away. Everything will be alright. Once I get my land, everything will alright. Once I get my land, 40 acres and a mule. Everything'll be alright. Once I get my land, everything is alright. Give me my motherfucking 40 acres, bitch. Owe me that shit, nigga. You been owing. You know how some people owe you money, and it seem like it take them forever to pay you back. Oh, homie, you know I got you next week, and then 3-4 weeks go by before they actually pay you back. And then you be like, damn, nigga, it took a long time. Oh, bro, I pay you back, though. You know what I'm saying, man? I just had some other shit come up, man. I feel you. Now I ain't let you borrow money ever again, motherfucker. But damn, even 3 or 4 weeks waiting for your money, that shit seem like a long time. Imagine the motherfucker been owing you something for 110 years. Huh? Imagine how that shit feel. Owing me, nigga, you been owing me for a century. Can I get my shit, please? God damn. Well, things change now, and things are different now, and hey, that don't defeat defeat the fact that you owe me. Well, yeah, plus interest and inflation. Let's calculate this shit up, man. With a calculator, let's do this math, man. Let's crunch these numbers, baby. Get that payment. Get that payment up out you right now. Then you can go our separate goddamn ways after that, buddy. Everything is alright. Once I get my land, everything is alright. Once I get my land, everything is alright. Can't let them niggas have 40 acres apiece. They gonna take up all the good land. Don't give them shit. Let's give it to our poor European immigrants who are coming over here. Give them the land instead. Niggers, we don't owe you anything. It's not like we enslaved you. I didn't own slaves. Why should we have to give up land and money? Why do you deserve it? It's not like you were a fucking slave. You were born in a hospital, not on a plantation. Kind of makes me feel like they never really was gonna give it to us to start with, you know? Just some nice words. Sorry for keeping you in bondage. Gotta go. Oh wow, did I actually miss that part? Yep, yes I did. Alright. So about 30 minutes before my meeting start. Dang, now I'm thinking like, should I eat before the meeting or eat after the meeting? I'll wait. I guess I'll. Dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Wrong color, wrong color. Yeah, I might wait until the meeting is over. Bam, ba, bam, bam. Ba-dum, 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 bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. I don't know what I was thinking just now, but I almost fucked some shit up. I don't know what the hell was about to come over me. That was not the right move. Alright, better. Yeah, guys, we really on the ball with this one. So tomorrow after work, I'll start putting some blue up on there, some of the turquoise. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Alright, made some progress. Alright. Ooh, that'd be a good ringtone, ain't it? What the fuck is that sound? I'm getting a text message, bro. Yeah, but what is that sound? Oh, that's the sound of me cleaning off my paintbrush. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Coming up with some good ideas, bro. Alright. Oh yeah. Yeah, that shit don't look bad. When you're in the inspirational studio, man, ideas just come to you, yo. You just be thinking of shit. But that's looking good so far. Like I say, we're starting on adding some of the blue to it tomorrow. But I'm liking it. last interview I had, I actually, I did one this morning, but the one I did a couple of days ago, I did a dual stream where you guys could listen in on the interview that I was having. And I have a Zoom meeting tonight for Black Scranton Project. But our shit be so clandestine, I can't let y'all hear that shit, yo. I ain't gonna lie. Oh yeah, you can see it all in the facial features. Pop goes the weasel. And I'm smoking that diesel. Pop goes the weasel. And I'm smoking that diesel. Yeah. Pop goes the weasel. And I'm smoking that. Pop goes the weasel. And I'm smoking that diesel. Yeah. Pop goes the weasel. And I'm smoking that diesel. Yeah, it goes pop.
She will. So maybe I shouldn't have said the most hardened soldier and the most hardened, because the most hardened soldier becomes a killer. Becomes a killer. That happens. It happens all the time. I shouldn't say it happens all the time. It happens from time to time. That's how you get the My Lai massacre. It happens. The most hardened jihadists, they're not going to change their mind. They're not going to come to any rose-colored view of America. But barring those total extremes, you've got people. You've got other human beings. And if you can get them to talk to each other, they can find consensus, they can find common ground. But if they're not talking to each other, then we don't make any progress. And to your whole kind of point about what's happening right now, there's less and less communication between people, open communication. Because if you talk to someone and they say, the cops did this, this, and this, and you say, oh, okay, explain to me what happened, tell me what went down. And then you say, hey, let me tell you what it's like for a cop, being a cop, when he sees that, when he sees something going on. You know how many domestic violence cases happen and the person shows up and they're getting assaulted by both parties? Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what this cop was thinking when he showed up and saw your mom in this situation and did this to your dad, right? Like, this is real conversations, but we don't have them. And not only we don't have them, it seems like there's forces that are actively trying to prevent us from talking to each other, from sitting down at a table and saying, hey man, tell me what's going on.
What forces?
Prince, disconnected. Ready to pair. Connected to FBI wiretap.
Yo, my little nephew got a video.
These niggas broke, discount, run on this block, tryna see what that shit bout. Ain't say nothing in person, but he talking shit now. Bro told me chill out, but I'm finna flip out. Cause when I up this blick, it gon' knock the whole click out. Bitches ain't want me, but see on the shit now. Just tryna run this shit up and flood my whole wrist out. After we fuck, she get kicked out. Wait, I'm ballin', you might think I play for the Knicks. All black G like I play for the Nets. Just tryna run up a check, got my foot on their neck, do this shit without breaking a sweat. We see a lick, cause niggas tryna flex. Day in and day out, I'm grinding. Say he outside, we ain't find him yet. Got 3 in the leaf and ain't talking about clover. We don't shoot low, we shoot high like a floater. So if you get hit below the waist, then you know we ain't meant to. Just at the addy, tell them niggas spin through. I keep that lead like a number 2 pistol. 9 times out of 10, they gon' fold when shit get suspenseful. He talking shit can get hit too. Bro, spin your block in the all black Tahoe rental. Won't even know niggas broke. Discount spin on his block, trying to see what that shit brought. I ain't say nothing in person, but he talking shit now. Bro told me chill out, but I'm finna flip out. Cause when I up this blick, it gon' knock the whole click out. Bitches ain't want me, but see on the shit now. Just trying to run the shit up and flood my whole wrist out. After we fuck, she get kicked out. Block 23, bitch, I'm feeling like Jordan. Ain't about money, then it ain't important. Stacking this bread, you might think I'm a hoarder. Fuck from the back, I record her. Ride through they block like Dora Explorer. They still on the porch and I jumped in the water. Better go get you a floaty. Let that bitch sing, ain't talking karaoke. Blah, blah. Shout out KC, that my brody. We been tight since Jits, ain't talking Zach and Cody. Call that bitch win, cause I like how she blow me. These niggas can't hold me, I feel like I'm Kobe. And I ain't famous, but these niggas know me. He claiming he bought it, well bitch come and show me. And niggas envy, watch out for your homies. I die before I let them hold me. These niggas broke, discount, been on this block trying to see what that shit about. Ain't say nothing in person, but he talking shit now. Bro told me chill out, but I'm finna flip out. Cause when I up this blick, it gon' knock the whole click out. Bitches ain't want me, but see on the shit now. Just trying to run this shit up and flood my whole wrist out. After we fuck, she get kicked out.
Let me find out.
So how was your week?
Go on, just tell them what you did.
What? It was a dungeon run.
Protesting growing national outcry continues.
These niggas broke, discount, run on this block, trying to see what that shit bout. Ain't say nothing in person, but he talking shit now. Bro told me chill out, but I'm finna flip out. Cause when I up this blick, it gon' knock the whole click out. Bitches ain't want me, but see on this shit now. Just trying to run this shit up and flood my whole wrist out. After we fuck, she get kicked out. The way I'm ballin', you might think I play for the Knicks. All black G like I play for the Nets. Just trying to run up a check, got my foot on their neck, do this shit without breaking a sweat. We see a lick, cause niggas trying to flex. Day in and day out, I'm grinding. Say he outside, we ain't find him yet. Got 3 in the leaf and ain't talking about clover. We don't shoot low, we shoot high like a floater. So if you get hit below the waist, then you know we ain't meant to. Just at the addy, tell them niggas spin through. I keep that lead like a number 2 pistol. 9 times out of 10, they gon' fold when shit get suspenseful. He talking shit can get hit too. Bro, spin your block in the all black Tahoe rental. Won't even know niggas broke. Discount, spin on his block, trying to see what that shit brought. Ain't say nothing in person, but he talking shit now. Bro told me chill out, but I'm finna flip out. Cause when I up this blick, it gon' knock the whole click out. Bitches ain't want me, but see on the shit now. Just trying to run this shit up and flood my whole wrist out. After we fuck, she get kicked out. Block 23, bitch, I'm feeling like Jordan. Ain't about money, then it ain't important. Stacking this bread, you might think I'm a hoarder. Fuck from the back, I record her. Ride through they block like Dora Explorer. They still on the porch and I jumped in the water. Better go get you a floaty. Let that bitch sing, ain't talking karaoke. Blah, blah. Shout out KC, that my brody. We been tight since Jits, ain't talking Zach and Cody. Call that bitch win, cause I like how she blow me. These niggas can't hold me, I feel like I'm Kobe. And I ain't famous, but these niggas know me. He claiming he bought it, well bitch come and show me. And niggas envy, watch out for your homies. I die before.
Oh, 20 minutes till. Alright, so y'all want to check my Facebook with me? Sorry, I posted these pics. The same things I showed you earlier. But that mural's looking good though. That shit gonna be hot when it's done, yo. That's probably what I mostly do at work tomorrow is work on that mural. Isn't that awesome to have a job like that? And then she got like hella comments. That shit is pretty cool though. I don't know. It's weird though. Like, I really do be painting all day. I go to work and paint, then I come home and paint for a couple hours in the evening. Yeah, this shit is. That's a hot ass picture, yo. I meant to ask. Exactly. But I meant to ask the news anchor guy, like, how did you come across my art? That's the only thing. Like, how did you even find me? Or did he tell me that? Or oh, I see. I know how he came across my art. He did tell me. So, um, some local Instagram page reached out to me. What was that? Um, wow. Discover Northeast PA. So I think, was that? No. Damn, now I can't remember what website that was or what. Anyway, some local Instagram page wanted to feature me for their Sunday local artist spotlight, and I'm like, cool, hell yeah. And so and they didn't even do anything really. I just sent them some pictures and sent them my bio, and they just posted that on their Instagram page. So it was really simple for them, but it was just, exposure for me to their network of people. And that's how this news anchor came across my art from their post, and he was like, "Ooh, when I saw your art, that's when I wanted to interview you first." My man Food Stamps sent me a goddamn friend request, yo. This man said he an artist, yo. This shit better be hot, Food Stamps. You better hurry up and accept my damn friend request too, bro. I don't know, like when I be painting that elephant, yo, that I'm working on, that shit be looking weird up close. But when you stand back, now that I look at it, somebody took a good picture from a distance. That shit do look pretty hot though. All right, my homie just sent me the Zoom link, so we'll be ready to get this meeting popped off. I really can't. Oh, here it is. That's what it was. It's NEPA Creative, and everybody just calls it NEPA because it's Northeast Pennsylvania. Because we're really far north and east. We're damn near in the corner of the state. Like, it's weird where it's that's why the winters are so cold. Like, man, we're so close to the top of the state. It's crazy. So these guys that contacted me, if I go to them and go to messages, and so yeah. Hi, my name is Samantha. I run the Sunday Spotlight for NEPA Creative. I'm reaching out because one of our social media followers suggested your work would be a great fit for our Sunday Spotlight program. If you're interested or would like to learn more about it, please let me know. Basically, every Sunday we show off some of the awesome work, creative stuff people are doing in NEPA. We also provide links to their events, shops, websites, social media pages, etc. So it's a great way to get some exposure. Hello, thanks for contacting me. I would love to be a part of your Sunday program. What would I need to do? And then we went through the whole process, and I just sent them pictures, and I sent them some links to my TV show and my artist resume. I sent them some things that I'm into, and they just put it all together and put it on their page. But there's like, oh, this is a great way for you to get some exposure, and I'm like, awesome, but you only have 451 followers. Like, am I really getting that much exposure? Really, I think you guys are getting more exposure from my page than I am from your page, honestly. And so this is their thing, NEPA Creative, and that was my little spot, and they just ran my shit like that. And then they had like a little short, precise write-up, Travis Prince, da 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 da. And so the guy from today, he ran across that, and he was like, oh, I want to interview you too. And I'm like, awesome. But yeah, I got 4,000 followers, and they got 400 followers. Like, how you guys helping me get exposure? I'm just making jokes. Sure appreciate you linking me with your 400 people. Like, some of those people actually followed me from that page, and I actually got an interview from that. So that worked out definitely in my favor. Now, if I can get somebody with a commission to come through from that shit, like, yo, how much you want to do a painting for? And then I'm on it. Mm-hmm. All right, 10 minutes and the countdown is here. 10 minutes to the Zoom meeting. And then after my meeting, I think it may carry on to about 8 o'clock. It might be like an hour-long meeting. But right after that, I'm going to try to eat some dinner. Wow. After the meeting, I'm gonna eat some dinner, try to play some video games. Yo, Fo, you ain't got the Call of Duty, man? I need some people to play Call of Duty with. That's the only thing I'm playing right now until Friday. Boy, I gotta go delete some shit off the game station downstairs, because you know what Friday is. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. The Last of Us Part 2. It's just a few days away. And do I have to initiate the download? I don't think I have to initiate. I think it just does it by itself. As long as there's enough space. Because Friday is going to be King. Friday going to be a busy day. I gotta work Friday. And then right after work, we got our Juneteenth Jubilee in the park from 4 until 8. Then after that, when I come home, bro, I got The Last of Us 2, the digital version downloaded on the PlayStation. I would be up all night playing that bitch, yo. All the night. I was thinking about calling in sick Friday. I ain't lying. I don't feel good. It might be that second wave of COVID. Shit, nigga. Oh, it's okay, man. You stay home today. Thank you, man, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably just drink some ginger tea and rub some Vicks on my chest. I'll be playing the game all day. I have done it. Don't fuck with me. I have done it. I took the day off work for Skyrim. When Skyrim came out, I ain't go to work. I'm not coming to work today. I got something to do. And I had the midnight release. 11/11/11. I'll never forget that shit, yo. That's when that was the Skyrim release date. 11/11/11. Did not go to work. And then oh, that's the thing, bro. I got, man, doing this COVID shit, man, I've been working this whole entire COVID thing. And then my job is almost like a paid vacation because there's not a lot to do there. Like I say, I'm just working on a mural at work. I don't really have a lot of stuff to do. So, and then like I accrue 15 hours of vacation time each month. And I've been working through this entire COVID thing, like, for the past couple of months. I got like 30, 40 hours of vacation time that's just sitting there. I ain't even touched shit. Nobody can't go nowhere and use their vacation time or nothing anyway. Where you go vacation at? Summertime. Right now, nobody can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and one of my other coworkers, she was like, oh, I had a New York trip canceled. I had my Vegas trip canceled. I had already paid for this one trip, and that was canceled. It's like, half I ain't planning no shit in advance. But now I just got all my time since January. Ain't nobody take no days off. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I don't mind saving my shit up to the end of the year. No, I'm lying. I'm lying like hell. I did take some days off. I went to South Carolina this year. I went to South Carolina in March, and I used 14 hours. I just took 2 days off. I took a Friday. I took the Friday and the weekend, and then that Monday off, and then I was back at work that Tuesday. So I just used a Friday and a Monday. You know what I'm saying? But that was only 14 hours. You can vacation at the Trump rally. Ain't nobody going to no damn Trump rally. I ain't going to no rallies. I'm making like I say, man, my Juneteenth Jubilee for the Black Scranton Project. You know what I'm saying? Because we focus on black issues in the black community so we can have a thriving black population, educated and goal-seeking and business-minded and orientated. So, you know what I'm saying? Black Scranton Project, we going to have our Juneteenth Jubilee celebration. and bring people together for fellowship so we can raise some money for our building fund so we can get our community center together, and all the rallying and all the protesting and all the burning and all the looting, that shit kind of not in the same direction we trying to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I was just on the news today for something positive. I can't turn around and get seen punching a Trump supporter in the face on live TV. How would I look? That would demean my character. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in that shit, bro, I'ma fall victim to mob psychology, and I'ma move with the herd, and before I know it, I'm gonna be looking around like, how did I get this TV in my hands? I'm running down the street like, damn, oh shit, fuck it now, Nikki. You know, so I try to just keep myself out of situations like that. I don't need to place myself in those environments where I don't feel like I am able to cope with the hysteria of the masses, and I'd rather sit back, plan, plot, strategize, and execute in order to build substantial and sustainable economic platforms for my people to produce generational wealth. I can't do both of them. This one is easier because I can sit down while I do it, and there's less risk of me going to jail. Let's make Juneteenth a holiday. Bitch, it been a holiday for us. Like I say, now everybody want to take from us. Like, can we have our own shit, man? Y'all wasn't never acknowledging this shit, man. It's so weird, bro. So weird. So, we got this. We don't need y'all help. It ain't never been on y'all calendars before. It's on our calendar. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Don't try to do that shit now. Fuck that. You been celebrating this shit since the 1800s, bitch. Oh, it's a holiday now. No, we've been commemorated this day. We don't need your help. Alright, guys, it's time for my meeting. Exactly. Making that money. Boy, that's why we can't fucking think. You can't. When Kwanzaa, look how they manipulated Kwanzaa so hard. Everything on sale. Get your Kwanzaa, your kente cloth. You got Asian people selling kente cloth. We don't need your help. No. Yo, I'm gonna stream some video games later. I'll catch you guys later on, yo. Peace.